So if you didn't know, Grottle is just a grass type. It is not yet grass ground.
All right, so we've got a Hui's match here against Che Hwan Yu, maybe. Hui's using one of his famous Ash teams here, and also a Nicolas Cage movie gimmick. So Hui, I mean, he has great taste in movies, sometimes with Mean Girls, but I guess no one can be great all the time. The team for Hui here is Snorlax, Staraptor, Grottle, which is the thing that turns into Torterra, Pikachu, Butterfree, and Heracross. And his opponent here using Yanmega, Garchomp, Tyranitar, Metagross, Hitmontop, and Zapdos. So some cool Pokemon in this game. Yanmega is one we don't see too often. Hui obviously has a bunch of Pokemon that aren't super standard, but I think they're all better than people give them credit for. Pikachu will probably give Zapdos some trouble here, in addition to doing a surprising amount of damage. Butterfree, I mean, isn't the best Pokemon in the world, but does have a pretty quick Sleep Powder. And Grottle is actually something I hope the audience doesn't underestimate here. I know it's mostly known for being a Pokemon that Zach has trolled Pokemon online with a few times. But if you don't have a taunt user, it's pretty effective here. Spamming Leech Seeds and Wide Guards and being a huge grassy jerk.
Do we think it's better than Ferrothorn?
Nah way, dude.
It's not better, but I think it's a lot better or a lot worse individually, but it's more of a team player with Wide Guard.
Oh my gosh, Wide Guard is becoming one of my favorite moves. It's such random, cool Pokemon have it.
We got a movie star, guys.
Here we go, Pikachu and Ferrothorn.
Well,
what am I saying? Ferrothorn?
Ferrothorn?
Oh man, it's getting late already.
Get this guy off commentary.
Get
Ferrothorn,
you have no
wow,
idea.
you're so much smaller and buggier than you were last game.
You can fly.
Ferrothorn is a little upset that, couldn't hit its attacks last game, so it turned into a giant bug monster. Anyway, pretty good leads by both sides here. I mean, Garchomp threatening poor little Pikachu here. But
poor little Pikachu.
But Staraptor also gonna, have a jerk mode here against Garchomp, who's intimidated, and as well as Yanmega, who doesn't want to get eaten by a bird. Because it's still just a flying worm, and as we all learned in like the 4th episode of the anime, birds eat worms.
Pikachu does have that fake out, so I mean he can neuter Garchomp really quickly here.
Especially if he chooses to just Final Gambit, assuming Yanmega's going to protect for the speed boost.
Yeah, a lot of interesting options here. Pikachu's a tricky Pokemon.
Pikachu's so cute and tricky.
It's definitely not something that, like, there's a lot of Pokemon that are kind of like borderline that I talk up a little more than maybe would be completely and sometimes I'm disingenuous about bad Pokemon on the stream. However, Pikachu is really one that probably doesn't deserve to see more uses than it does. However, it can do lots of cool things. It's great for show matches like this, and Hui has a lot of experience playing Ash teams for people who don't know that. Like, he has used Pikachu at a regional before. He has used it in a Wi-Fi tournament for CP before, so if anyone's going to make Pikachu look good, it'll be Hui.
Yeah.
So stinking cute.
Out of all 4 Pokemon on the field right now, I've only played against one, like, ever. So, three Pokemon that are very rare, and especially then, Mega. It was really popular back in 09, but since then, last year, I didn't see it at all.
I think the thing with Yanmega is, like, it doesn't get many one-hit KOs in this metagame, and lots of things one-hit KO it back. Like, I've tried it a few times because I think it's an awesome Pokemon, but I can't find a way to make it do enough.
And it's also too easy to neuter that speed boost. Now, back in 09, you didn't have stuff like Thundurus with Thunder Wave, which is the main offender. And now, even with those speed boosts, it still falls down too easily. And the battle's actually starting.
And Yanmega did not protect.
So we see the fake out Brave Bird instead of the fake out. I guess
I like the Brave Bird there to keep his Staraptor alive.
Yeah, because with Garchomp intimidated and Yanmega not really being able to do anything besides Air Slash or HP, I shouldn't be carrying it since it doesn't have the Life Orb.
A really risky but good play on his opponent's part, because had Hui just went for the fake out on the Garchomp and the Brave Bird on the Yanmega, he would have had a huge advantage coming out of that first turn, but his opponent read right into that, I guess.
Yeah, it worked out for him. I probably would have taken the safer play if I was Hui there, just because it's a game 1 of a best of 3. You don't want to anticipate too much until you learn more about your opponent. But we decided to go aggressive right from the beginning there, and a bit of.
It doesn't have the speed boost, so obviously probably running tinted lens.
Oh, no, it did get the
didn't
speed
have
boost
the-
at the end.
Oh, did it? Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
stop
why I'm even
commentating
more
that.
surprised he didn't go for a protect on the first turn.
Yeah,
I really like that play though, because I think more often than not when you see a lead Yanmega, you're like, oh, it's going to protect to get the speed boost because it's not too fast. But I think that was a really risky play, but it did pay off.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been so much worse for him. Like, you either come out with it with the 4-3 lead, or you lose your Yanmega right away. So, I mean, it's a 50-50 call on his part, I guess, but it worked out in his favor.
I think with the threat of fake out, you kind of have to just attack that first turn. I don't know. I mean, I just really like his decision.
Wow, another good play on his part, switching the Mega into the Metagross, and it takes a feint and a Brave Bird, but that does nothing, and the Garchomp gets a free Rock Slide off. Wow.
Unfortunately, it's intimidated here, but
yeah, I mean,
it still gets the kill.
Wow.
Well, that's
crits.
Oh
wow.
yeah.
I mean,
I gotta give him credit. You know, he's definitely playing the better game after these first 2 turns. I think he's made the better predictions both times around.
He's not giving any yams.
Yeah, I mean, what Huy is doing, he's playing as if, you know, his opponent's going to protect, but his opponent just not showing that he has protect right now, just going for straight off offense, which is paying off.
Yeah, so sometimes you earn your breaks, you know, and I mean, well, the RNG helps him there. I mean, he made the better play both turns, you know. Like, Huy didn't have much opportunity to get lucky because he got outplayed twice in a row. Really good prediction so far by his opponent there. He deserves to be ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a really, I mean, I don't know if he saw the feint coming or if he, either way, I give him a lot of credit. That was a really nice switch in, and, you know, it's fairly standard to Garchomp and Metagross, but that Yanmega did work just taking care of Huy's Pikachu right away, and, you know, I'm impressed. I want to see what else this guy has to bring, because so far he's done really, 2 really impressive turns of predictions.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Huy kind of reels it in a little bit, because Huy's kind of beaten Huy so far. He's not giving himself too much opportunity here.
Yeah, and okay, so we finally see the protect from that Garchomp.
He's
Tailwind.
counting his blessings.
Yeah, so double protect. Oh, wow. Explosion.
Yeah, his opponent
Yes!
just throwing the offense out here, and Huy's team is really frail and can't take this.
Yeah, this is
Explosion!
Oh man, I mean, I'd imagine that Butterfree is sashed.
Sure, more often than not, it's either sash or scarf. But with Tailwind, it should be sash. Yeah.
So, I don't want to give away too much information here, but yeah, so Huy usually does use the sash, and there it is.
See, yeah, I mean, I like Explosion there. If he didn't go for the protect on that Heracross, he would have lost, I'm sure. But Huy, now it's interesting. He's able to put things to sleep now, and that Heracross will be able to outspeed things. So what he can do is he can sleep powder one Pokemon and try to KO the other, and what that does is he'll just get the advantage every turn, and his opponent right now is probably going to want to style up that Tailwind.
If Huy's running Moxie, he can really put in some work with his Heracross.
Yeah. But granted, he does still have he's still staring at a 3-2 deficit with a 1 HP Butterfree, so still a decent amount to come back from.
I mean, presumably it is sleep powder, so the RNG might be deciding how much of his comeback Huy gets to make here.
Yeah. And,
well, Butterfree has compound eyes, doesn't it? Which makes sleep powder not too terrible.
But if ever there's a move for a Pokemon,
yeah, that's gonna
didn't want to see here.
All right, so yeah, we see a Hitmontop come out for Che, and that's gonna give him Huy a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but if it's faint, the game is pretty much over here, and even if it doesn't, a much harder spot.
Yeah, I mean, Huy's still staring at a -1 at Heracross.
Yeah, with the additional burden, then he pretty much has to waste a turn double protecting here, but or I guess not double, but at least 1 protect here if he predicts it correctly, but he could otherwise use attacking.
I feel like his Hitmontop's gonna have faint. His team's already way too cool. Or just fake out. I can't have all my prayers answered tonight.
Oh, and an avoid, yeah. Oh, yeah, dual chop. Now, that's one of the moves I've seen a ton of Korean players carry I want to bring up. You know, last year, when I was looking at teams from Korea after their nationals, Wonseok Jang, the guy that won nationals and the guy that inspired me to build my winning team, he used dual chop, and I don't like dual chop just because it can actually miss, and missing against a dragon type is just not what you want. But what it does is it enables you to KO through stuff like Hobbenberry, so it's more of a Korean preference that I've seen.
Yeah, so I agree with you, but I'm not a huge fan of the move because of the accuracy. Like, the targets you use your dragon attack on are usually high priority enough that if you miss it, it could lose you the game. So, like, introducing that element of risk probably isn't worth Haban. Like, I don't know if Haban is more common for them than it is for us, where that would make more sense. But with how infrequently I see Haban berries here, I can't imagine making that call.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so crucial to hit your dragon type moves against dragon types, just because they're normally going to one hit KO, unless it's Garchomp, which actually, because it's I mean, other dragons can actually tank it if they're EV2, but I still like I like Dragon Claw more. You can't afford to miss, and we see Che just wrap up game 1.
Yeah, pretty good game there. I mean, he had a couple of great predictions in the early turns there, and took that game because he deserved it. Hopefully Huy goes back to the drawing board here. I mean, he's an aggressive player, and it didn't pay off for him that time. So yeah, I don't know if you do if you're Huy here, you can try and be aggressive again. Hope you hit your plays this time, or I don't know if you really can back off and be a little more conservative, because it's just not a be conservative team he's running, Yeah,
and Che, that was a really aggressive. He made really aggressive plays right from the start. That battle ended in 4 or 5 turns, and I still can't believe that first turn, how he just didn't go for Protect, but, Mega is normally expected to carry Protect, so because of that, he capitalized off that, and that Protect, that explosion, too, just launching it right off the bat, and paid off for him.
Yeah, he took risks, and they paid off.
Yeah. I love seeing Explosion Metagross, because it's one of those things you forget about that's really good. Well, at least if you have normal gem, and then people use it, and then you immediately get paranoid again that every random Metagross could explode on you.
Yep, and that's what I lost to at regionals. I saw the Politoed and Metagross, and Metagross can do so many things, but an explosion on the first turn is the scariest thing. And a lot of the times, if you lead with Pokemon that can't protect, or just something has to take damage. So still a very strong set. Explosion Metagross was so popular back in 09. That's because back then Explosion didn't have the nerf, and it would do double the amount of damage. But still, with normal gem, it does almost that amount of damage, and at the same time, it's a set that's lost popularity, but still really strong. And according to this chat, Korean people use Dual Chop to break Focus Sash or Substitute. Which...
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty obvious, but I'm curious if they run so many Hobons that they really need the Dual Chop. I don't like Dual Chop for that accuracy. Dragons normally aren't sashed. Garchomp's the only dragon that I would really sash, and second, Substitute, I guess, in Masters, maybe it's a more common thing. I know, Ray used it on his Garchomp. Latios is pretty common to avoid that Sucker Punch, but at the same time, I still prefer Dragon Claw, but that's a personal preference. And
Pikachu Butterfree lead.
Oh, wow. Good counter leads by his opponent.
Ew.
That top end T-Tar. Not fun. Sand is going to break that sash immediately, and Huy has no way to stop that.
Yeah, Hui's on the ropes almost immediately right here.
Yeah, one huge thing is the team matchups, especially in this metagame. I think in my last round, I had the better matchups both games, and a lot of that is reading into team preview and predicting what they're going to bring in a best 2 of 3, and I think Che's doing a good job right now. His leads right now are really strong against Hui's. Though his fake out is slower than that Pikachu this turn.
Someone saving grace for Huy here is at least he has some options because of it if he can anticipate this correctly.
Yeah. I'd imagine he'd fake out the top and Sleep Powder the Tar.
Yeah.
That's the safest play, but at the same time, that Tar is Scarfed, which is actually really common now. I've run into a ton on GBU, especially by more Asian-dominated players. But the safest play here if you're Che is just go for a.
I guess there's not much you can do. You can't. That fake out is scary, but if you read correctly, you can actually out predict, and it's all based off what that T-Tar runs to.
Yeah, Scarf Tar would be murder for Huy here. It would probably one-hit KO both Pokemon, and the sand would just take out the sash.
Yeah, I hit Huy using a similar team in the first Wi-Fi thing, and I had a Scarf Tar. It wasn't very fair.
And Huy fakes out the Tyranitar, and okay, fake out on the Butterfree, so fairly pointless turn there. And oh my, I think that Tyranitar is scarfed. So good play by Huy instead of fake outing the Hitmontop, going for not taking any risks and just now he can see that Tyranitar is scarfed since it did move before that Butterfree.
Yeah, I mean I do like that play there because
almost Butterfree was going for that move where you swap the Tyranitar for something else. Which actually could be feasible. I could see Huy wanting to eliminate that threat right away, so maybe it's not scarfed.
Pikachu escaping.
Okay, we see a Protect from Butterfree, Pikachu going to a Heracross, firing a Rock Slide right away, that Tyranitar, and a close combat onto the Heracross. Huy's in a hole right now. And let's see. Ooh, close combat does not KO. Leaves it with 33 HP.
Yeah, it does. A Rock Slide did do 64 damage though, so he's well within Rock Slide kill range here.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gets himself in a position where he can get any attacks off against Scarf Tar without a Rock Slide miss here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of rough for Huy here.
Yeah, I mean, for that first turn, I don't know what you can do if you're a Huy here. There's just, you don't have that speed advantage, and Tyranitar kind of just blows through your team.
Yeah, it's just the team creation here. I mean, Huy does cool stuff, but often there's a couple things that hard counter it just because when you're running this sort of team, I mean, that's not the sort of thing you use to be able to beat everything well. And Scarf Tar is just one of those things that match up really well with what he's doing here, and I don't know if Huy's going to get a chance to show off too much this time.
Yeah, Huy known for really creative strategies, but you can't really show off your strategies if you can't attack and your Pokemon are fainting before you get those strategies off. So, in this case,
would be so helpful. Where is he?
Yeah, and, Huy swaps out the Butterfree for Staraptor, and so his entire team is just weak to Rock Slide. That's something you really don't like to see. Che swapping the top for the Zapdos. Okay. And yeah, Tyranitar just goes for another Rock Slide, just powering through.
Yeah, Huy sadly doesn't get his Rock Slide miss there, and that is pretty much going to be that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's been, 3 turns, and Huy has not launched a single attack other than Fake Out. That's, that should be concerning to you.
Yeah, so I think we did learn in the previous game that Staraptor is scarfed, so we might at least get an attack off here, but I can't imagine him actually turning this around.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough, and that Pikachu is just so frail. It'll take, one shot from anything will take it out, and Che hasn't even revealed his last Pokemon yet. And all his Pokemon are still pretty much full health, so, it's tough for me to imagine a way for Huy to win this now.
Wi-Fi could always win it.
Yeah, Wi-Fi would help.
Time to pull the plug. I think your uncle has dinner ready.
Time for your father to make lunch.
The best part about that is that, that was actually, the excuse. I'm just amused. We always joke around about that, and that was the culprit. He was the one who did it against me, and I was just like, "Are you serious right now, man?" And he was like, "Yeah."
Interestingly here, though, Butterfree faster than Zapdos, so he gets the kill in the sleep, and things are slightly less over than they looked.
That's good. That's good. I mean, this is what I like about having 2 Pokemon, one that can get the fast sleep off, and another that can just dish out strong attacks. Like I mentioned in the previous game, if you're able to put one to sleep and just KO the other Pokemon, you can just constantly shuffle their sleep and annoy them. But what but then Hitmontop comes out, and then that fake out is really annoying because it kind of just screws around everything that you have.
Yeah, I was a little surprised actually that Tyranitar died or let himself die there. I mean, we saw in the previous game, but Staraptor was faster than Garchomp, and unless Garchomp was adamant, he should have known that was a Scarf.
Yeah.
Although maybe he just doesn't care. I mean, still not in a bad position here.
Yeah, he's in a better position than I expected him to be. That last turn went perfectly for him, and he put himself back into the game effectively.
Yeah, I mean, presumably his opponent knows here there's no threat of Brave Bird, so we'll likely fake out the Butterfree to stop Sleep Powder or Tailwind.
Yeah, and if that Zapdos wakes up and say he gets a Heat Wave off, I'd say this game is over.
Yeah, that Zapdos really needs to stay asleep for this turn.
Yeah, so this turn's crucial. Okay,
Staraptor
swapping
electric
out
move.
as expected.
Use Thunderbolt, it'll work.
Let's see. Oh, Protect. Okay, yeah, safe play by Huy. I like that a lot. But now he that allows Zapdos to get a free sleep turn off.
Although not much he can do there, because I mean, unless he wants to tickle Hitmontop with the locked close combat.
Yeah, I mean, now what happens is if he, I'd imagine he'd go for a fake out and a Sleep Powder on the Hitmontop. Or actually, no, he could Sleep Powder and just go for an attack on the Pikachu.
Yeah.
Which
he also has the option of trying to get Tailwind up, but I guess he hasn't seen anything that would indicate he needs it.
Yeah, I don't think he needs it right now. I mean the best... Oh, okay. Hitmontop does have Detect.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Fake out. Okay, so Huy going for a safer play, going for the fake out on Zapdos just in case it wakes up and Sleep Powder again. And Zapdos stays asleep one more turn, so fake out effectively negate it. But at the same time, I think that's the safest play he could have done. So I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I
don't mind that.
It's too bad the Hitmontop winds up having a Detect there because it negates the cleverness of what we did there. But
no,
still
Huy's actually
in a position.
He's in a great position actually. I would say he's because of that speed advantage, he's able to put that Hitmontop to sleep before it can do anything. And I would think Pikachu might be able to KO that Zapdos from here, but I'm not sure. I don't know Pikachu damage calcs.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, although at the very least, as long as he can knock it into Sandstorm range, even if it wakes up, it's probably not the end of the world.
Oh,
although
Sucker
Punch is not good.
Oh
yes.
boy. Oh yeah, that's game.
That big 40 defense.
Big 40.
See, yeah, that's why I don't like Pikachu. It's just so frail.
I love Sucker Punch top.
Oh man, yeah, okay, Zapdos does have Heat Wave. Kind of risky. If that missed, that could have gone really bad for him, actually. Would have liked to just see a Thunderbolt there.
Well, I mean, if Pikachu doesn't attack for some reason, he can't Thunderbolt because of Lightning Rod, so...
Oh, that's right, Lightning Rod.
Yeah, that was his best play there.
Yeah.
Do it, Staraptor.
Unless he carried HP Ice, then I would have HP Iced, but still, I mean... I think he's pretty much won this. That Sucker Punch, you kind of have to expect it, but at the same time, I mean, if you're Huy, you have nothing else, you gotta go for it.
It's kind of a bizarre moveset by modern standards, I guess.
Yeah, that's I've never seen... I mean, I guess I've seen it, but Fake Out, Close Combat, Sucker Punch, and Detect. Kind of rare.
Perfect. I'm gonna use it.
I don't know, it's...
Alright, Hitmontop swapping out to Metagross, and yeah, that Metagross is just gonna clean things up. Oh, Final Gambit.
Huy
Huy
goes
going
all
all
in.
in, trying to get that last KO. Huy will not die to his opponent.
He's just committing seppuku.
Yeah, Kamikaze, and
I was
doesn't
on
even
the
take out the
edge of the
Zapdos.
seat.
It was a good effort by Huy, but his opponent's team was just too strong from there.
Yeah, it was a good job, good effort, Huy, but Ash couldn't pull it out.
Yeah, that first game, I think he could have taken it if the predictions went his way, but Che showing what an offensive player he is, and that was nice. You spent the first game blitzing your opponent with just straight off offense, and the second game playing a bit more smarter and bringing counter leads, I guess, to what your opponent might have to bring in. Because of that, he didn't even have to make predictions. He was just firing the offense the entire time.
Yeah, I feel bad because I wanted a third game of that, but we just didn't earn it this time.
So much rock weakness.
Yeah, kind of wanted to see Grotto come out too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would have been a solution. I mean, that was actually the one.
Helped.
That was the one thing about this version of Hui's Ash team that he didn't have when I fought him in the friendly that would have worked there. Is that if he'd had he had wide guard on Groudle, right? So he could have shut down Tyranitar really hard, but he never whipped it out.
Yeah, I mean, kind of disappointing, but I mean, like, once again, that first game, I'm still amazed by how amazing Che predicted those first couple of turns.
Yeah, Hui got lit up a little bit there.
Yeah.
He got bodied.
I wish he brought Soap Team again. That would have been fun to see, but, you know, good to see the Pikachu team still in action.
Okay.